welcome back to Embrace the Impact. We are so glad you guys are watching and joining us today. Hope you enjoyed episode one. But this is episode two. We're going to talk a little bit about after the diagnosis. Again, my name is LaShawn Tony. I am a mother, an author, an advocate for autism and parents and families, and what we go through behind closed doors. Building Georgia's Impact Foundation to support families and help them in many different ways. We'll get more into that at another time, but right now we are here to discuss some topics that we want to discuss with you and find out how you guys feel about certain things, as well as let you know a little bit about things we've been through and experienced as well. So right now, I want to give it over to my co-host, Sierra Coleman, and let her speak a little bit, and we'll get this started, guys.
Yes, let's get it done. So happy Saturday, you guys. Again, I am Sierra Coleman, mother of four boys, and we are here because of our children. My youngest is Christian. I am also a mother, a wife, advocate for autism, and any special need at this point, and also an author as well. So, like LaShawn said, we're going to talk about episode two. And again, thank you guys for coming back. 'Cause I guess you liked episode one. Thank you for coming to episode two. And we're going to talk more so about after you get that diagnosis, after you get that phone call, that email, what happens next.
Mhm.
And I know for me, um, there was a little bit of denial, but then I saw the signs, so I knew what it was. But I was scared after it happened. This was
Mhm.
around COVID time, and the measurements that had to happen was all virtual. Nothing was in person due to COVID. So I had my 2-year-old sitting in front of a computer for speech therapy, occupational therapy, and ABA therapy. And it did not work because he's two. He's in front of a computer. Good thing is we did jump into preschool right in January, and that did help. But it was rough. I didn't know what an IEP was. Had to Google that. Now I'm a pro. I have a book like this big of just IEP things from 2021 to now.
Mhm.
But after diagnosis is the hardest part. You don't know, what to do. You're told what to do, but you're not sure as to what to do. If you don't have friends and family around to help you, you are literally going off of they're professionals, but you don't know them, and you don't know if you can trust them. So, LaShawn, how did you feel when you first heard about, Georgia being diagnosed with autism? What did you do? Did you have anybody to turn to,
Yeah,
after
I think I'm right there with you. A lot of Google searches, I
that?
tell you. But the first thing they tell you to do is stay off of Google. And it's like,
Right.
well, we're not getting the information from you or anybody else. What are we supposed to do? We want to know. We're scared. We're alone. We're terrified. We don't know what to do. So, first thing we do is go to Google. But before I jump into it real quick, I want to say I know you guys see me. I was recently out of the hospital. I'm not feeling well. I'm feeling better, but I'm still recovering. So I am coming to you guys from my own bed today. So excuse my background, guys, and all that good stuff. But yes, I am recording here in my bed, and that's okay because we are here to offer some advice and some whatever we can offer to you to help you on your journey. So,
Mhm.
back to the question. Yes, I actually wrote about this in my bio, Journey of a Real Gift Inside Autism. I wrote about after getting the diagnosis, and for me, same as you, it was terrifying because I had at that time back then you only heard a little bit about autism. It wasn't a lot. You didn't really hear a lot about it. Didn't know a lot about it. And I really think those are things that need to be addressed and changed because when we get the diagnosis, I feel like someone need to follow up with us. They need to let us know what to expect, what it may not happen, but this is what could happen, or things that you could just kind of like a standard, what to expect type thing, so we're not in the dark on everything.
Mhm.
Maybe have that one-on-one person to follow you for a while to help you gather information and help guide you until you're signed up with CVRC or whatever the case may be. But there was literally no support, no information. It was like, okay, yes, Tess is positive. She's autistic. Make your next appointment at the desk. And it's like,
Right. What
I got
now?
this, right. I got this little girl looking at me, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. I'm so sorry, So, now it's we're moms. It kicks in.
Mhm.
Everything kicks in as a mom. You start researching, you start reading, you start trying to find whatever you can find to gather any information possible to find out about autism. And now everything that's out there is scaring you half to death because
Mhm.
you don't realize at that time that it's a wide spectrum. Like it's so many different stages of autism, and some is severe, some is mild, some is high functioning, not severely functioning or whatever, and some is nonverbal or verbal. So it really depends, but we didn't
Right.
know all that information at the time. It was just everything that was coming up scared us half to death,
Yes, and
so
when you hear autism, you think it's everything. So
it's
everything that
everything.
could be possibly wrong with my child is wrong.
Yeah,
You don't
that's
learn
it.
about the levels until you do your research.
You
You
have
just
to
think
do your
autism
research.
is just, "Okay,
Yes,
well, this is it. This is it.
yes,
What we got."
absolutely. And the biggest question I get is, well, I see signs, but everybody is telling me no, they're just delayed. No, they're gonna be okay. Listen, I was told the same thing. No, Georgia's fine. She's just a little delayed. I did not give up. Do not take no for an answer, especially when
Yes.
you're a mom. You've had other kids. You know what is normal and what's not normal.
Right.
So you don't stop. I took her back the next year, and they did apologize, and they did diagnose her at that time with autism. So I don't know how much things have changed since then, but I know the first step I think you guys should do. Number one is, if you notice signs and you think something is wrong, make a doctor's appointment to your pediatrician or even to your find a child psychologist, and let them know what the problems you are having, and
Mhm.
see if you can get some type of evaluation done if a referral is needed.
Mhm.
If you are not certain or your doctor doesn't give you that referral, it's okay. Number two, to call CVRC and say, hey, I think my child might be autistic. I'm not sure. Again, I'm not sure how they do it now, but CVRC may not need a referral. You might be able to get evaluated or have your child evaluated through CVRC without the doctor's referral, and just kind of go from there. But
Mhm.
don't ever take no for an answer or let someone tell you that nothing's wrong with them or they're going to be okay. You know, as a mom, if they're going to be okay or not. So you
Right.
keep fighting for your child. So that's, number two. First of all, for number one, go to the doctor. Number two, go to CVRC, because they are going to be connected in some type of way to get that diagnosis. Once you get that diagnosis, then CVRC, number three, will hook you up or connect you with all the resources you will need. But try to surround yourself with other people and other families like Sierra and myself that have autistic kids, because like for me at this point, I've been in the game 17 years. I have gathered a lot of resources, a lot of information that I
Mhm.
am sure will help other parents. And same with Sierra, I'm sure. I don't know, far as support. I've always had my husband and my kids, and support in that way. But it would have been nice to have outside support from other families or doctors or therapists, besides her ABA therapist. But where did you turn to, Sierra, far as, once you got
Um,
the diagnosis and was able to, come home and try to start figuring everything out? Where did your support, you feel, came from the most? And what did you do to find out more about Christian and, his autism?
so first thing Imma say is I'm not a veteran like LaShawn, you guys. She got
Oh, I'm not a
17
vet. I'm
years
still
under her
learning.
belt.
I am
But,
still learning. Let me tell you, girl.
but, we're at year Christian will be 7 in December, so we're
Oh,
at
that's a lot.
about 5 years
Mm,
in since he was diagnosed. But here in Maryland, we have, infants and toddlers program, and that
okay.
is where you go for if you see delays in your child, not just autism, it could be ADHD, Down syndrome,
Hmm.
cerebral palsy, anything related
Right.
to a special needs child, and what I did was I did what they tell you not to do. I Googled. I mean, me and Google was like hand in hand. I Google when I don't feel well, I Google it and it tell me some crazy things. Oh, you got
Every
cancer.
time.
I know I don't got cancer, but Imma Google and Imma listen to
I'm,
Google. Then Imma call my doctor. So I Googled
I'm gonna scare myself first, right?
right. I Googled and I called Christian's pediatrician. That pediatrician, we left her probably by the time Christian
Mhm.
was a good year. Uh, she just was like, "Oh, he's fine. He's just delayed."
Of course.
And, I don't like to compare children, but I did compare my children because I'm not a first time mom, so I knew what to
Mm.
look at. And
Right.
I'm like, "Okay, you telling me nothing's wrong, but, Chase did this, Chase did that. Christian's not doing any of the things." And
Right.
Christian was premature, so he was born almost 2 months before his due date, so I get it,
Hmm.
he came out with problems, he
Right.
had a eye disease, he had a feeding tube, so I
Hmm.
figured he would take him time to catch up, which is fine,
Right. Right.
but, like, my baby is not even trying to babble. He's not even trying he didn't crawl till 10 months, kids are crawling at 6 months. He
Oh
didn't
yeah.
walk until 15 months, so I'm
Right.
like, delayed, delayed, but this
Right.
boy is just
Yeah.
he's not doing anything.
It's a big difference.
So
Yeah.
right, so infants and toddlers helped out a lot, and when I even told them the symptoms, they were like, "We can't diagnose him legally in Maryland till he's 2."
Hmm.
But the psychiatrist was like, I think it's autism. So we're gonna go ahead and what I am going to tell you guys to do, early intervention is the thing that helped me out.
Right.
Is even though legally it's the age of 2, I took every precaution that I could that his insurance would cover to
Hmm.
get him the tools that he needed. And we started out with speech therapy and occupational therapy at about 18 months.
Hmm.
And that helped. Support wise, I will say it was my mom, my dad, and my husband. I don't have any family members that have autism.
Absolutely.
I don't have any friends who have children with autism. I don't have
Right.
anyone in my community, and I
Mm.
wasn't too ready to jump on social media to talk about it just
Oh
yet
yeah. Not yet. Right.
because I was scared. I didn't know.
For
So
sure.
I'm like, I'm not jumping out there and I don't need nobody telling me, "Oh, he's fine." I don't need all of that because
Right. For sure.
he's not fine. It's
That's
something's missing, something's off,
exactly. As a mom,
Right. So,
Absolutely, 100%.
it took me until Christian was probably about 4 or 5
Mhm.
to even get on social media to even start looking at other people's lives.
Right.
And then
What are
I'm like,
some of the
"Okay."
signs that you noticed in Christian? Like, what are some of the signs?
Oh, um, this
The hand flapping?
the
Yes.
hand flapping,
Mhm.
the tiptoe walking that he still does today, but it's
Right.
not as bad.
Right.
He always gave us eye contact, so we never worried about that. He knew his name, he responded to his name in eye contact. I know that's a big one for
Right. That's a big
but
one.
that was fine, and his sensory,
Mhm.
um, the dishwasher, vacuuming, you drop something and it startles him.
Right.
When it comes to food, he didn't wanna touch certain food, let alone put it in his
Mhm.
mouth. You know,
Right.
and communication. He always had to grab us to point to something, or he always it was, but it
Same
wasn't
here. Yes.
words. Like, and I'm like, he wasn't mama, dada.
Mm-mm.
He wasn't doing anything, and I'm like, "Yeah." So, but the tiptoe walking was I'm like,
Mhm.
"Okay, what?" Like, he is like a little ballerina. Like, he was just all through the house, and I'm like,
Right. Oh,
"Okay." But my
yeah.
husband was great, and my mom was
Right.
too. She didn't know nothing about it, and my dad, he did his own he bought books off of Amazon, like, "Look, before I
Hey,
can
whatever
watch
they
him
have to
full
do.
time, I need to know what I'm getting into," and they did their own
Right.
research, and
That's awesome.
they're great with him, and my mother-in-law, she, gets him, a lot, and she helps out even now, but, that was the support I had, but I love this support because
Right.
you guys
It's totally
know what
different.
I'm going through.
Absolutely. We're living it.
So, yeah, you
We're
know.
living it. I mean, and I could definitely relate to a lot of what you were saying, far as the symptoms. Like Georgia did a little bit of the hand flapping. I noticed something was wrong with her when she wasn't crawling. She would sit on her toy box and stare at the wall. She didn't want to be around a lot of people. She did not walk until she was 2. Just a lot of things really delayed, of course. Even when she was a toddler or baby, I can say I would stand, you know how you stand babies up in your lap and they
Mhm.
push off and they spring up, and no, her legs would just fold.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, this is something is not right here, you
Mm.
know. So and as I've said before, she was diagnosed with cystic fibrosis first. So we were so tuned in and clued in to her cystic fibrosis, or her CF disease. And for you that don't know what cystic fibrosis is, it is a disease that attacks all of their major organs, some more, um, some different organs more than others. For Georgia, it always attacked her lungs and her pancreas. She would get pancreatitis so bad. So dealing with that type of disease on top of autism in the hospital
Mhm.
was definitely devastating and a lot of work. Um,
Right.
with CF, their mucus is 10 times thicker than ours, so they're not able to cough that stuff up. So it sits in the pockets of their lungs,
Mhm.
and that's when they get infection and bacteria infections and things like that, and they have to have bronchoscopies to scrape the lungs to get the mucus out. So it's a lot dealing with CF. Back in the day, they did not live past the age of 10, but now with technology, their life expectancy is longer, but we deal with it as it comes. She's doing okay. But autism took over
Mhm.
after that. So that's why I wanted to write the book, because the things we've been through as a family is unreal. But I noticed through all of that, even with CF, I just noticed the signs of autism. Didn't know I was autism, but I did know something was wrong. You know, so yes, to see those things as a parent, like you said, being able to have, you have the other kids, so you compare them with them.
Mhm.
You don't have anything else to look at or any other guide. So
Yeah. And they tell you not to
know
do
that
that, and it's
you
like,
you have to.
I
There's no
have
other
to.
way.
I don't know what you
There's
and
no other
it
way.
sucks for, the first time moms, because if you're a first time mom and you and if you don't know the developments of children, you may let it last longer because you're
But you
like,
know
"Hey,"
what? You say that, but
you know?
actually, I talked to a mom the other day, and she is
Mhm.
the first time mom. She has no other kids. And
Mhm.
she said, I don't even have any kids. This is my first child, but I still knew something was not right as a
Right.
mom. And I think when you have a child, whether it's your first or not, I just think that motherly instinct somewhere kicks in, and you just know. You
Yeah,
know,
you do.
because, you know, but I think us that have kids before, it just kind of gives us a little bit of a guide to go by. But
Mhm.
you still know as a mom, something ain't right, you
Right,
know.
yeah.
Because you, I mean, common sense, you know how a baby should be acting, you know what they should be
Right.
doing. So I think a lot of common sense uh kind of, you know, put together with that motherly instinct kind of helps you figure out that something just ain't right here. So I think that that's a big thing, is recognizing the signs, because I get that a lot. Like, how do I know? And don't be afraid to go back as many times as you need to. If you think something
Mhm.
is wrong, you're their mom, you're their voice. You have that right.
Yeah, you
You
have
go
to.
back as many times as you have to. Go to somebody else. Don't keep going to the same person that's told you no 3 times.
Right.
Go to somebody else. Get another opinion. Go to a different type of doctor. Like I said, seek out a child psychiatrist, or, you know, whatever the case may be.
Mhm.
So I don't know. Did you ever get Christian into ABA therapy? I'm curious about that.
We did ABA for like a week only due to the COVID and the virtual stuff. Once he got into preschool, the school that he goes to now, they have a whole
Mm,
program for autism.
yes.
And I think I am now I might be wrong, but I'm one of the only moms that I know that didn't really jump into ABA. I
ABA.
did the occupational therapy, speech therapy, and
Mm-hmm.
behavioral specialist, but I never went to an ABA therapy center.
Okay, yeah.
And I know a lot of people do it, and I have
Mm-hmm.
nothing against it. And
Yes,
I know it works for a lot of people and a lot of moms
absolutely.
and families, but we didn't do it only because, like I said, with COVID, it was too
Yeah,
stressful.
right, for sure.
But, I know or I assume those centers kinda do play off of the occupational
Mm-hmm.
therapy stuff and speech
Yes.
therapy stuff, but I never tried it, and,
Mm-hmm.
I kinda felt like, "Oh my god, we need to do it because it's a part of the autism world," but they throw so much at you, you try to do what you can, and the one thing that I
Right.
will tell you guys, especially if you're newly diagnosed, do not listen to your family members or people that's telling you that your child is okay.
Don't
Don't
do
do
it.
that
Don't do
because
it.
my grandfather, God rest his soul, he was so
Mm-hmm.
adamant about, he's fine," and I'm like, "He's not," and I need to accept that he's not if y'all don't, and you would have
Right,
family members and your friends tell you, "Girl, he alright," or "He just spoiled," or "She just" no.
right.
So don't listen to them. Like, do not. Do what you have to do as
Can't.
a parent. Don't
You
do that
can't.
because that's
Because they
gonna
don't know what you're living. So
mhm.
yeah, they can't tell you what to do or what to, none of that stuff because only you know that. They're not with you 24/7.
They are
So it
not.
makes a difference. It really does. But to touch on what you were saying earlier, before we get into the ABA therapy on my side of it, you said something a little while ago about early intervention. This is a
Mhm,
classic case of us living the same type of life, but what works for one person may not work for the other.
mhm.
I say that all the time. And the reason I said that is for me, early intervention with Georgia did not work. And
Okay.
I'll tell you why. It's not to say that early intervention doesn't work.
Mhm,
It didn't work for Georgia because Georgia was more severe, I think, than Christian. And
mhm,
with her being so severe, she would have so many major meltdowns. It was interfering with her learning progress,
mhm,
if that makes sense. It was tough doing speech therapy, occupational therapy. We couldn't get through sessions because she would just full on tantrum. And eventually they were like, this is not going to work. We're not getting anywhere because, she's biting and scratching and yelling. And so early intervention, we missed the boat because of the tantruming and stuff like that, which is what led us to ABA. So
okay,
ABA is more for it's for any autistic child. I don't want to say that it's just for more severe kids, but for Georgia, ABA helped because they really helped us all as a family in the child because with ABA therapy, they help us to learn how to deal with certain behaviors. And they
mhm,
also help Georgia with communicating and her behaviors and, with her being able to tell us how she feels and, um, what she wants to do. And I mean, Georgia has been in ABA therapy for years. And I think without us all being involved as a family in this ABA therapy, things would be a lot different. Does she still have her moments? Absolutely. It didn't cure autism. We're
right,
not curing it. We're trying to find a way as a family how to live with it.
mhm,
And ABA therapy really helped us learn how to do that. They go on outings with us, they go to doctor's appointments with us. They work with all of us as a family, the moms, dads, the brothers. They come up with a plan for whatever the issue. For example, I was having problems with Georgia sleeping at night.
Ooh,
She would get up and get into bed with me. And I said, you are getting big. I can't do this anymore. Get out of my bed. So I talked to her ABA therapist and she was like, okay, LaShawn, let's come up with a plan. This is what we're going to do. We came up with the plan. She was like, I don't care what it listen, it gets harder. They always tell me it's going to get harder before it gets better. But
Mhm.
you stay consistent, you stick with it. And we came up with the plan. She said, I don't care if it's 2 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, when Georgia come in there to get in your bed, you take her back to her room and you put her back to bed. If she come back in there, you take her and you put her back in her room. You do that every night. Girl, it
Yes,
was less than a week. She said, I'm not even going in there because I know she's gonna bring me back. So
that's good.
so it was tiring though to have to keep getting up, going back. She would cry a little bit, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I'll sit in here with you in your room, but you can't get in mom bed. Girl, now she don't even come to the door. She stay in her bed. She don't get up. And those are things that ABA therapy has done for us. They have really helped us come up with plans for anything we're having issues with. So if you don't have ABA therapy, I recommend, especially if your child is more severe, I think it will help you as a family and help your child with any type of behaviors they could be having. It was very helpful for us.
That's
So
good.
yeah.
It's good to hear because I
Mhm.
feel like I'm like one of the not saying only, but one of the
Yes.
few, that just didn't do it due to, COVID. It just really it
Kind of took
made the
out of the,
experience yeah, it
yeah,
made it so much worse because it's like,
right.
you want this 18-month-old to sit in front of this camera and do what?
That's
And
not
he
gonna
ain't
happen.
doing it.
That's
And
not gonna happen.
I'm talking
Especially
to the
18 months.
therapist.
No.
Yeah, I'm talking to the therapist more than he is. He's running around the house, stemming his butt off, and me and her looking at each other like, "We know
Right.
how to talk. Like,
Ex-
what we
That's
doing?"
not gonna happen. I mean, that's too
Yeah,
young. That's too young.
yeah.
That's not,
So, but the sleeping part, yeah, it took Christian about till he was about 4 years old to actually sleep through the night and stay
mm-hmm.
in his room. I mean, it felt like we were doing the newborn stage from newborn to
Right.
about pre-K, and
Mm-hmm.
it was and, I threw the melatonin gummies at him. I was like, "Here,
Oh yeah.
here,"
We
and then
yeah.
after a while, I think he was like, "Girl, I'm immune to this.
Oh
What you got
yeah.
next?" It ain't
Yeah.
even work no more. It
No,
was just
after a while.
training at that point.
Mm-mm. Yeah, it don't
So,
work. After a while, it stopped working. Oh yeah.
sleep is a big one, and I
Yes.
definitely let us know if you guys dealt with sleep problems. Did you do
Yes.
early intervention? Did you
I
do
was about to.
ABA? Did you do
Yes.
occupational? Let us know what you did because
Yes.
like me and LaShawn, we have 2 different situations, 2
That's right.
different genders, 2 different age groups,
Ages.
and 2
Yeah.
different levels of autism, so
Yes.
we both went through the same thing, but we our plan was totally different,
Yeah,
so
it sure was. Absolutely. And
let
please
us
let
know
us
how y'all
know, if you guys are noticing signs with your child and you're afraid, we're here. Ask us questions. I do apologize we weren't able to do a live this past week
mhm.
because I was sick. My fault, guys. I apologize. But we will definitely try to get a live done so you guys can come on and ask questions. But even if we can't, comment in the
Yes,
down below, and just let us know or ask questions. Let us know what you've done, and how it's been for you after your diagnosis, and are you interested in ABA therapy, and if you have, what was your experience. Did you do early intervention? Tell us about your journey, please, because we want to read those comments and share some of your
yes,
experience with our
definitely.
viewers as well, and hopefully one of us will be able to inspire or help someone on their journey. So that's why commenting and sharing is so important.
Yes, and I just want to just piggyback on that, we're not just talking to each other, I know it's
That's
just
right.
us on the screen, but we are talking to you guys as well, and,
Absolutely.
you know even though Georgia, she's in her senior year of high school, Christian
Absolutely.
is, in the 1st grade, there's so much that Deshaun can still learn, and there's so much that I can still learn, so let
Absolutely.
us know, what you guys did and what helps you guys because the
Mm,
journey doesn't stop, and I don't
no,
care how old they get, um, they can be 25 and you're still
that's right.
gonna do these things that we're talking about today.
That's right.
And like I always said, and I tell Deshaun every day, my biggest fear is regression. And I see it so much that
Oh
it
yeah.
sits in the front of my mind. The older Christian gets, I always fear like, yo, it can get worse. We can
Right.
backtrack,
Oh
and
yeah.
that's
And
a fear
that's
of mine,
that's definitely going to
terrified.
be another topic because
Mhm.
regression huge regression, y'all. It happens. Can't
Mhm.
be scared of it. You got to get through it because sometimes it does happen. It just depends on changes that are happening around them, and depends on a lot of things. And sometimes they tend to regress. Georgia has is she goes through a regression every now and then, but we get on it and we do our best, and that's all we could do, guys. Is our
Yes,
best.
do your
That's
best.
all we could do. But I know it's we are definitely over our time, but we definitely wanted to get on here and talk to you guys. We thank you guys so much for watching us and for your support. Embrace the Impact is here. We are always going to be here to answer questions and talk to you guys. Send us some things you would like for us to talk about. We are definitely open, as I always say. Nothing is off
No.
limits. We are willing to talk about anything and everything. We're actually going to be trying to get some guests on here soon. We're working
Yes.
on it. So we will keep you guys posted. But I'll let Sierra say something before we get out of here, guys.
Yes, and if you want to be a guest, like we said, either
Absolutely.
email us or let us know in the comments, or if you follow us on social media, DM
Mhm.
one of us. Again, thank you guys. We appreciate you guys. We would not be here if it wasn't for you.
That's
Tune
right.
in next Saturday for episode 3, where we're going to discuss, you know, safe spaces in schools and daycares. I know that's a touchy
Ooh,
topic.
that's gonna be a
Been
good
on
one,
the
y'all.
news a lot, but we do want to talk about the
That's
neglect,
gonna be a good one.
that happens in this daycare systems, or did daycare work for your child, if it did or didn't. So that's episode 3. So stay
Yeah.
tuned. And again, thank you guys for joining Embrace the Impact. Thank you guys for being here, liking, subscribing, commenting. We love you guys. Thank you. And episode 3 is coming up. We
Coming,
appreciate you
guys.
guys. So
We will be posting our links where you can find us on social media, as well as Embrace the Impact. Any information about that, we'll post that as well. But we again thank you guys so much for following us, for your love and your support. But again, we're going to be trying to do that live, guys, and
yes.
we might be discussing something else on the live because I know y'all heard about that new medication. We're gonna talk about that
Oh
because
yes.
oh yeah, yeah. We're gonna talk about it,
We're
y'all.
gonna get
We gonna do it right now because this. Well, I need another 30 minutes, but we ain't gonna talk about it right now.
well, we will.
Thank you
And
guys so much. Yes, we
yes,
will
we
get
love you
into it.
guys.
Yes, but thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you soon.
Bye
Bye,
bye. Episode 3
guys.
coming up soon.